This is Smithy.tv.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, my name's Lindsay.
I'm Ryan, and this is These Guys.
Those show? I can't remember the title.
That show, Those Guys?
It's been a while, Ryan.
It's been a while. I think you're a little bit older, a little bit wiser.
Older, not wiser.
Not wiser. Well, you've kept your Movember mustache.
Okay, well,
I've just grown a full beard.
See, you can actually grow a beard, whereas, you can see it, but I bet you on camera they will not be able to tell that.
I've actually kept this beard a long time. This is the longest I've kept a beard of any form for this long.
Are you proud of that fact? Or?
I guess so. I mean, it was, at one point, it got so thick and bushy, it was like mountain manish. And, of course, at that point, it's like, does your wife stay with you, or do you shave it down to...
What did you find?
I found that she was forgiving for a while, and then I trimmed it.
Was there a day it's kind of like you walked in, she's like, go shave or trim it?
Yes.
And was that the day you did it?
No. I gave it a few more weeks after that.
Good luck. She stayed with you.
Yeah, I know. I'm still the father of her children, so she's either screwed or she's willing to
I feel like that's
try it
you,
on her own.
I feel like that's you holding the relationship hostage.
I was a little bit hostage. I got to do what I wanted.
I have the kids are well, they're ours.
Well, I was also growing my hair out. It was like, but it's been so long since I've had proper curly hair. Now it takes...
I thought you were going to say since I had a wife. I went...
Yeah, no, it's been... when I grow my hair now, it's like it only grows into a poof. It has to be...
People pay for that, though, so you should be proud of that.
I know, but I used to be able to brush it out and be huge if you pull it down, but it was it's not long enough to be curly, but it's not short enough to be presentable.
Yeah,
so it was
get you.
Very awkward looking, and not that, it's unprofessional. It was just really messy, and it was just...
It wasn't working.
It was time for the trim. It was time for the trim and nice.
It's springtime.
It's spring. Yeah. Now it's spring. It's April. This is, I guess, the first episode of a new season.
I didn't know we were going by seasons, but apparently
we are now. So it's been so long since the last episode.
Season 2.
Season 2.
So usually I think a good system is we do a show about once a month or so. So 12 times this year, actually. So. Maybe not 12.
We might be wearing the same thing in the next episode because it might be recorded. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we're gonna try to come at you once a year. Sorry, wow, that's we did it once a year.
All right, see you next year, and have a good.
Happy New Year, whenever you watch this. But yeah, once a month or so, we're going to try to come at you guys. If you remember the show or you got a better show title, because we often don't ever say it right, but I think it's on purpose
I think it is now. So it's April 2nd of the year 2014. So I know we're dating it. You're just going to see this at a certain time, but there's a reason why I'm specifying the date. So we are currently in a new year here in Toronto. We are looking at... a new election in the new year for a new mayor, and our mayor superstar mayor has become
you can't deny
a world sensation. Everyone is watching what's going on in this city. But one of the things that I remember from his first election 3 years ago was and I'm politically aware. I'm not amazing. I don't know every single detail about what goes on, but I ran for mayor once.
He did.
And so I at least keep an eye out on things. It was just, I want to be much more involved as a voting citizen. So I want to know what's going on. One of the reasons he ran was because the previous mayor to that was a guy named David Miller, who was a very left-sided mayor, very tax and spend mayor. And at some points, actually, also, where Ford has been known to disappear, so was he. We had a giant explosion in our city, and where was he? He was on the other coast with his daughter for a vacation.
Miller time.
And you know what? That wasn't acceptable then, and what's going on now is not acceptable. But why it's relevant is yesterday I'm reading... You can't... When you're reading internet of any form, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, on April the 1st...
Yes, I actually am. Yeah, I had a couple
You
articles.
have to not believe anything unless it started to be printed the next day.
Because, okay, here's the thing about April 1st, is not everyone knows that it only goes to actually noon.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's so anything that's printed after noon, it's just like you're just being
news?
You're just being a bastard.
No, that's true.
So the thing is,
Did you read about David Miller entering the race?
I didn't. That actually is really funny now, knowing that.
So the whole point was that the guy who left because he was basically booed out of office, there was an article that said he was running again this year. And I thought that was very funny because there is also an extremely left candidate in Olivia Chow who, if Miller was running would split the vote between the two of them, which would
Cause a lot.
make Rob Ford win the election.
The crazy thing is, he still could or can win.
Yes, he still can. There's a lot of people who forgive and forget what he's done.
You have to bring up the fact that when you watch SNL as a kid growing up, and you saw like when it was Clinton or whatever, like you laugh at this stuff because you didn't have a personal attachment, so it's just funny stories.
That's
it's
right.
Great stuff for like, so when people watch Rob Ford, it's hilarious and it's funny.
It's absolutely.
I'm a guy from
hilarious.
Ottawa, so like it's still funny to me, but it's
But
just
you're
like
also a
when
person
you're
who lives in Toronto and is
you're-
affected by the decisions that happen.
when you
in City
actually
Hall.
live it and the story is real.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, wait a second. The joke's funny so long.
That's right.
We need to stop
Well,
that.
I mean, think of all of the amounts of jokes for years and years about Marion Barry, the mayor in Washington.
Marion Barry,
That's
Sir
right.
Chris
And
Rock.
he was also a mayor on crack, and he was a joke around the world. And we know about him in Canada, and it was funny. And it's funny to you in America. It's funny around the world because he's a joke.
Yeah.
But I knew that no, it didn't matter who was going to win in this election, Ford or Smitherman. My guess 3 years ago was that it was going to be a one-term election.
Yeah, okay.
It was going to be a one-term winner, and that someone properly appropriate to run for mayor should win this election. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of choice this year. There's a lot of people running, and I don't feel like there's a lot of people who are actually worthy of taking it away from the person who's not worthy of sitting in the seat now.
So it's like, do you go with the status and like the comedy of Rob Ford? Because the thing is, he says a lot of things that are the half truths, and the thing is, the people who benefit from it, it's all praise and going like, "Hey, he got us money. He's helping us out." If he can continue to keep those people, I can't see him losing. But
image is such a huge factor. I mean, this is the face of the city. This is the person who represents us. It doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter what platform you run on because, to be honest, there's 44 people sitting on council who are going to outvote you no matter who's in that seat. The mayor is just one vote. And if the rest of the council don't believe in what you're pushing, then it doesn't matter.
it's just, yeah, it is hard. Just some of the quotes he says, as a person, I think it's funny. But as a person who lives in Toronto and has to deal with it, you're like, this is real, and this is like,
that's right,
kind of sad, you know. Like
let's say Olivia Chow gets elected and they change the subway system to the LRT. Well, she's pushing that, but the rest of council might have been elected to push subway, and therefore she gets elected because she wants this to happen,
and it won't.
And it won't happen. So it doesn't matter who the mayor is. It's about what 45 voices want, not what one person wants.
So just like, so with that state, I think you could rely maybe on someone like Olivia Chow a little bit more for like sound bites where, because
it's sound bites only.
Because with like the 40 or so people,
Relative.
they have the say, whereas Rob Ford is just, there's so, I hate
But
and
there's
love
also
the guy. I
the
have to say
fear
that.
for a lot of people who are right wing that Olivia Chow is going to return back to a very union based elective in regards to the essential services of the city. In which case, when essential services like the TTC and like the garbage, which they're not technically essential, but they can strike at any time and they can stop service in the city. And they were never made essential. And you go private instead, and private, you can fire private and hire someone else. That's why they do a better job, generally, because they are competitive.
1 second, I pause you for a second. Ryan, I think, is officially throwing his hat in the race.
I am not running again. I promised my wife that's the end of it. I'm sorry.
Also, you'd have to probably shave, too. So that's
I don't think so. I think you can be in as long as it's like clean, I'm trimmed, I'm going to shave in here, keep my hair short, not sweat too much.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's okay. I'm thinner than he is. I mean, that's for sure. It's already a step up.
But no, it's an interesting time, and I don't know about Tory, but I think it's still between Chow and Ford.
I hope Tory steps up into the point where it's between her and him and not her and Ford.
I think he's going to still have to do a lot more wrong because he still has...
Well, Stocknacki, who's the other guy, who's one of the other candidates running, is also an NDP candidate. So his vote is also taking away from Chow votes. And then you've got Karen Stintz, who's basically the same as Ford, just not a crack-smoking whore. So...
Just a whore. No, I'm kidding. It's outside of the city. I think you root for Rob Ford to win, no matter what.
Of course.
In the city, that's a different story.
Right.
I think the garbage and TTC are good services, and I think they're overall helpful. I mean, there's always problems with the TTC. I agree, but at the same time, there's a lot more.
It's also about saving money for the city, right? And so the garbage, which has been privatized on the west side but not on the east side, so that west side is currently saving the city $11 million a year. $11 million a year.
It's a good chunk.
So you change to a 10-year contract on the other side, and that's an extra $111 million or $110 million over 10 years. So when you say that you're saving the city money by $1 billion or $500 million, it doesn't matter how much. That number is against what the budget is already there for. The budget is paying people already. If you put to you actually guarantee a savings of a certain amount when you contract out that other side to be privatized.
All right.
It's not about competition because the union is not going to change their fee, is not going to change their structure, is not going to change any of their already in place retirement structure and all of that for anybody who was a career person in that union. None of that changes, and therefore those costs can't go down. You need to change to a private system, and in which case that's how you move on. I'm not throwing my hat in the ring, I promise.
Sounds like a lie, folks.
It is not a lie.
Also, I like how you're gradually going off screen.
I am. I'm actually slowly going to do the rest of the episode.
I'm taking the show over.
Oh my God, it's just that
just,
guy in those shows.
That guy time. I hope they
that
like
show,
me.
that guy.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ryan Goldhart.
Thank you.
From the show.
That was fun. I mean, to be honest, I know it's a long rant for one topic, but it's pretty important to us here. I mean, because we're going to be affected.
I'll be interested to see in a couple months or a year from now how it plays out.
Yep.
Like what changes or what happens with the city.
Where will this adventure take us next?
So you and one of the guys you work with sometimes, Jeremy Lalonde. Sorry, wow.
Yeah, no, please.
I didn't know how to say his name. You guys actually were working on a show together.
Yeah, we
Something
have something called Bastards. We had a Bravo Fact short. I'm one of the bastards. I'm the bastard who produced it, or the exec produced it.
I heard Brastard.
Brastard, yeah, I'm a bastard too.
It's just a cool.
It's like being a bro and a bastard at the same time. I'm a bastard, man.
He's the brass.
I exec produced the short. It's a Bravo Fact short, so it'll be on Bravo shortly online. About an aging rock star who finds out he's dying, and he says, wants to basically collect. He says, bring me my bastards. He wants to collect his illegitimate children from around the world to then compete for his love and inheritance. And it's a great eclectic group of people because for a rock star who's rocked the world for years, he's been around the world. The Indian son, the Black Daughter, it doesn't matter where you're from, he's still their father. Blood test pending. It's a terrific cast. Julian Richings as the lead is gold. It's great. And if
you don't know him by name, I guarantee
you've seen his face before.
You would see him, and he's a solid guy.
He's spectacular, and a terrific cast with Ennis Esmer and Tara Spencer Nairn, and Maya Lowe as the youngest daughter, and Tommy Amber Peary and Suresh John and Paul Amos from Lost Girl, and it's just this big, huge cast, and it's great.
And you guys did a screening?
Yeah, we screened at the Canadian Film Fest in March. We were the opening film for the opening feature, which was Patchtown, which is directed by Craig Goodwill, and that stars Julian Richings. So it was like a double header, which was awesome. It was a good night for him. And
he was a star of the night.
I think he had 3 films at the festival this year too, which is pretty awesome.
That's his year. It
was his year. But he's amazing, and it's a really fun short. So once it's online, you got to check it out. It'll be on Bravo, the channel, the website Bravo.
And what about the people who don't have internet, Ryan? AKA the ones who can't watch the show. They haven't heard. They don't know.
Well, for those without the internet,
I'm just trying to prepare you for all these pitches.
If they don't have the internet, they're not watching this show.
That's what I was saying.
Therefore, you're shit out of luck. Sorry.
And you guys you're pursuing more at the show.
Well,
maybe
we have grand expectations for what we'd like to do with it. We hope to be bringing it to a small screen near you, but in a different format.
As small as this screen that they're watching?
It could be as small as this screen. It could be as big as this screen, or it could be as big as this screen. Probably not as big as that screen.
guess it depends
If
on.
I keep stretching, my wounds are going to open.
So actually, yeah, I'm glad you actually brought that up because we were going to segue there in a second. So I feel great.
That was a segue.
I'm
How do
doing-
I feel? I feel awesome.
I personally, I feel great. I'm doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Goldhar, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I just recently had an organ removed from my body. I am no
Did you
longer...
do this for the show? For us
Yes,
to talk
I
about?
actually did it for the. A month ago.
We'll have video footage of
I
it.
experienced my first gallstone attack, and I swore, after having a conversation with the doctor at the hospital, that said I was bumped from surgery because I was no longer a priority because there are people in our room that have had multiple attacks. I said, why would someone wait to have a second attack? I'm never going to have
I'm
another
going to
attack.
chance this. I'm going to ride this out, Rob Ford style.
And that's what people do. Like they said, oh, it's not too bad. It was pretty bad, and I had to come to the hospital, but I have these gallstones. We'll have them removed. We'll keep the gallbladder, and I'll have another attack because I'll eat the way I do, and I'll create this. What I did is I'm preventing myself from ever having a gallstone attack by removing the gallbladder. And that's what I did. I removed my gallbladder, and I'm sitting here with a smile, but very uncomfortably.
So when I saw you today, and I haven't seen you in a while,
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things you told me, which is incredibly vivid for some of you about to hear it. So you had about a week or a few days off, right?
Yeah, I took a week off.
And you came back yesterday, right? Or supposed to?
Yeah, no, I was in the office on Monday and Tuesday, yeah, and then today was a fun day.
But yesterday,
Yes, yesterday I was sitting...
you're just having a good time at work, right?
Yeah, just sitting there.
Anything happened?
Yeah, I smelled something. It was funny. I thought I stepped in poo. I didn't step in poo.
It's fresh spring. Maybe you did.
I thought so, like the rotting leaves. Maybe I got splashed on the way to taking my son to school. I didn't. I had a bit of a leakage issue. I know this is a disgusting topic, but it's interesting. I wanted my wife to film it because I went to the emergency room because they looked at the wound and said, oh yeah, there's a little infection. We should clear that out a little. So they freeze the area and then they cut it open a little bit so they can release. It's disgusting. I'm not actually going into too much detail because there's more to it.
Just enough.
But I asked her to film it, which she didn't.
Another reason why you might have lost her too if you had.
No. We were joking about the fact that like every once in a while you can look on YouTube and it's like or on something. If someone will post something, it's like this is really disgusting, but you gotta watch it. And it's like someone like squeezing one of
That
those
could have been you.
permanent zits on the back of someone's back, or like someone being injected with like an egg sac from a spider bite. Like those things, and people post them, and then you watch them online and you barf, but yet you have to watch them.
I try
said,
not to watch those
we
things.
could trend that. We said, hey, watch them, open up my wound, and let's see what comes out. So she didn't.
And there's no footage.
And there's
of
no
it.
footage. So that's
But
that.
so we're gonna get a little vivid for a second because I didn't know this was a thing or this could happen. But so you were sitting at work yesterday and you smelled the scent.
Yes.
And you smell doo doo. We're gonna use that term
Well,
or
it's-
whatever
well,
we're
it's
gonna use.
it's foul. I mean, it's
A foul
it's-
stench.
It's a foul stench. It's like, where is that smell coming from? It couldn't possibly be coming from me.
So you're looking around.
I'm looking around. I'm looking at the bottom of my shoe. Did I step in something? Did I do whatever? And I opened my sweater, and there was like this wetness. And I looked down at my shirt. There was wetness. It was wet. I had ruined my clothes. It got on my pants. It was. And I
Remember
said,
how we were saying we're gonna do a show a month? I think this is the last show. It's gonna,
and that's the last show of those guys. That show.
No,
this is a bizarre episode. I
no.
will tell you that.
So you have a stench there, and
But it's not there now, as far as I know, unless you can smell something.
I can.
We're good.
Luckily, but yeah, like so your belly button.
Yep.
Stuff comes out of it,
Well, it like leaks. It's like a dribble.
and is it thick? Is it liquidy?
It's
What-
liquid. It's like you.
Sorry,
you're curious. You want to know.
I'm curious. Here's the
Curious
thing.
minds want to know.
Let me say
It's
this:
like-
I don't visually want to see it, but I'm curious.
Think of it
'cause-
like this. It's like if you started to bleed and like a thick blood came out. Well, it's not. It's more like a watery with a reddish color.
So it's chocolate water.
it's chocolate water. That's right. It's chocolate water.
Oh,
Yes. Chocolate.
good luck drinking chocolate milk now, or Nestea.
This is a strange episode.
It's been a while, so
We're catching up with each other as well as with you.
and it's glad we did.
So things coming up. I've got a few features in the works. Got a couple of TV shows possibly in the works. And,
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. What about you? How are things coming along? Do we have more episodes of the Roundtable in the works?
Yeah, I have. So with acting and all that, there's a season called Pilot Season and all that, and a lot of people go to LA. So I was like getting a lot of emails. And the thing is, I try to get 3 people at least together.
Sure.
And it's really hard in Pilot Season to get 3 people together in a time. So it's like now that it's coming kind of close. Like even though Pilot Season nowadays it can be any time of year.
Yeah.
But I find a lot of actors go from February to like April. They go.
Yep.
So actually, I have a couple like trying to line up and all that, and so hopefully we'll have some exciting shows on this website channel and all that. And
These are our Twitter handles right here.
Oh, actually, speaking of Twitter, I'm glad you said that. For the first time ever, yesterday, I got hacked.
Yes, I know, and you've lost 30 pounds, and you look terrific.
I feel great for losing 30 pounds. Not only did I lose 30 pounds, I lost another 30 today because I was still hacked. So I've lost 60 pounds in 2 days, thanks to Dr. Oz, apparently, as it says.
I have not opened this link, but I did respond.
He did, and I was worried that you opened the link.
I didn't
obviously.
open the link because...
And I didn't. And the thing is, I get it when you open an email or something that maybe that's where it goes from, but there's nothing that I opened in the last little while that it was like, what is this from? So I'm curious what it was. But yeah, I feel great for losing 60 pounds.
There are people in the world who just know how to do things, and they hack people, and I lost my email account for a few days. I don't think anyone got any spam, but at the same time, I had no access. And
maybe people are just not emailing you.
No, well, maybe.
Maybe. It's tough talk. I'm sorry to bring it up. But I feel great for losing 60 pounds. Dr. Oz, internet spammer, I appreciate it. We're still using these. We're still using this. So you can get tweets from me or spam. I don't know which one. I promise you.
You can get tweets from me. Again, it's a long time into the episode. Let's wrap it up. But we have an app. Smithy TV has an app, and you can catch all our episodes on Smithy.tv, or it's Smithy TV on iPhone,
Not an iPhone, but pretend it is.
But iPad, Google Play. So it's
the
available on Android and on iTunes. So download it on any of your devices.
Check it out. Check our show and the other shows, including mine. Ryan, I'll leave you with this question because I feel like we got to ask some questions
Sure.
of people. I've asked this today on Facebook and Twitter.
Yep.
Is Anna Kendrick sexy? And to the viewers also. So feel free to email us what your thoughts are, but I'll leave it with you and I. That's our final question of the day. Is Anna Kendrick sexy?
Can I look up what she looks like?
Up in the Air and Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Yes.
You are an agent in the industry, right?
Yes, I'm kidding.
What's your answer?
My answer, yes.
Oh, okay, I thought you were didn't know who she was. I think so too.
I would sleep with her again.
Again?
Yes, again.
Was it weird after the first time?
No. It was fine. It was fine. I had to leave.
I think she's sexy. That's my thing. But so, what do you guys think? Beauty is inner and outer, but this is a fun question. Let's have some fun with the show. And also, if you got any other questions for Ryan, like how are you still standing after that surgery?
I'm sitting. It's been a week. It's fine. Didn't help that a doctor that I happen to know and was my cousin walked up to me on Sunday and slapped my stomach. He said, "Hey, how's it going?" Because he knew about the attack. He didn't know about the surgery.
Oh.
Yes. So he hit my wound.
And how painful was it?
He may have caused the leaking, for all I know.
And did he feel guilty?
No.
He should.
Should, but he's a doctor. He can fix it.
Does he have a Twitter handle so we can have people
No.
hit him?
He's my cousin. I'm going to throw him under the bus. I'll do that in private.
Make
throw
sure.
him actually under a bus. He drives a Tesla. It's a beautiful car.
Local murder bus. Ryan Goldhart is your suspect. Arrest him, and it's That Guy Show again. Which is a great way to end this, I think.
All right. I'm Ryan.
I'm Lindsay. It was nice to see
That
you.
show. Those guys.
See you next month.
Will we?
Will he? I will, but will you?